All right, welcome back to a very special edition of the Cream City Central Packers Live. We are here today with newly acquired Green Bay Packer offensive lineman Travis Bruffy. Travis, thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. And how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I'm super excited to be a Packer. Honestly, it's a dream come true. There's no organization to be a part of, and yeah, just trying to soak it all in. But now it's time to get to work.
Yeah, how is the whole quarantine or maybe staying at home kind of affecting your mentality in terms of getting up to Green Bay or joining the Packers, your workout routine? How's that kind of going? Because this is new for everybody.
Right. So I'm in Houston right now. It's from my hometown. So it's pretty hard. It's affecting the city pretty much all over the place. Every little nook and cranny is being affected by it. I'm honestly tired of seeing the same people every single day. I'm ready to get up and change the scenery. And I've been stuck in this house and then at my training facility. It's only two places I'm going. I'm ready to get up to the facility and get up to the great white north and get started with everything. Meet some new people and just really begin this next chapter of my life.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Obviously, everybody, for actually those that play in warmer climates, have to make that adjustment to the frozen tundra. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has talked about it. Different guys who obviously have never even seen snow talk about it. There's been documentaries done about it. How are you making that transition mentally, going from
Right.
playing in sunny Texas to frozen Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Well, hey, I wouldn't call Texas always sunny. It's definitely hot. We don't get much snow, but I actually did my pre-draft training in Northwest Pennsylvania. So for the first, I guess, 3 months of 2020, I was in ankle-deep snow every day. I know y'all might get it a bit worse, but I tried to acclimate myself as much as possible because I knew there was a good chance that I'd go or have an opportunity to play at some place that snow was very common. That was actually my first time really ever working out or training in snow or anything like that. Honestly, I felt like it was a good adjustment. I'm very grateful for that opportunity to kind of acclimate myself to it, learn the ins and outs of it, learn the right socks to wear. I mean, all these little things you don't think about going into it. Competing in the snow is different, but I'm really excited for it. I'm really glad I got the chance to do it already before I had to lace them up in Lambeau Field, and that'd be my first time.
How does it feel that kind of your dreams coming true? You're finally in the NFL.
Hello, you cut out there. I can't hear you. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I said, how does it feel? Your dream is finally coming true. You're playing in the NFL. It's a lifelong
I
dream that
still
every
lost audio. I can't hear if you're saying anything or not. I'm
what,
sorry. I'm not sure if it's me on my end.
He
There we
he
go.
just
Perfect.
okay.
can you hear me?
Sam, you want to try again?
Yeah, can you
Sorry
hear me?
about that.
No, you're good. Can you hear me? I'm still muted.
You're not muted. He just asked, what's it like joining the National Football League, going
Oh,
from
okay.
college, making that jump to the pros?
Well, I mean, so far it's been surreal. Just kind of getting that chance you've wanted since you were 4 years old, especially with when the Oilers left Houston, my mom decided to choose one team that she really supported. She was a big Brett Favre fan, so she supported Green Bay at the time. Got a cheese head, whole 9 yards, and so I grew up actually watching the Packers, and then that got me interested in the history and the program, and obviously the history speaks for itself. They're 10-time world champions, and it's just an honor. It's there's no better place in this world to play football in Green Bay, the great city, only publicly owned football club. Super, super excited to be a part of something that the city cares about that much and the area as well. And, just that part of it, I think being an NFL football player, it's awesome and stuff. But when you get to be a part of such an organization like this, it really makes it that much more special.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, do you want to try again? I don't know if the audio is connected.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Here, let me try this.
Just while Sam's getting ready. So you mentioned your mom is a Packers fan. She's not a shareholder by chance, is she? Because obviously that's a unique part of the Green Bay organization.
No, I really wish she was, but as your unofficial financial advisor, I was recommending allocating her 401k a bit differently, but I can try and convince her to make that switch to be a shareholder now.
Yeah. So you are entering an offensive line room that has been pretty solid the last few years. The Packers obviously have veterans at left tackle. Their veteran right tackle, Brian Bulaga, just recently signed with the Los Angeles Chargers. He was on the Packers team for a decade. What do you think you can kind of bring to that offensive line room, and what do you expect from them? Because there's a few guys in that room that have been there for a while, and obviously there's two guys who are going to be fairly new, in Elton Jenkins at left guard, and obviously Billy Turner at right guard.
Right. I mean, I think if I went in with a mindset that I could do anything more than just contribute in whatever my role might be, it'd be a selfish mindset. I just want to help the Packers win in whatever opportunity I'm given to do that. I'm going to come in there and play my game. I'm going to work as hard as I can, learn the playbook backwards and forwards, and whatever role that allows me to fit into, that's the role I'm going to execute to the best of my ability. I understand the depth chart. I understand the veteran nature of the offensive line. I'm really there to contribute as much as I'm allowed to, learn as much as possible, and be the best football player I can for the Packers at whatever role that might be.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. What made Texas Tech stand out to you out of other schools? I know you had offers from, I believe it was Rice, Lafayette, and Louisiana Tech, in New Mexico, I think it was.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, the nature just playing in Power 5 football is awesome. When I committed to Texas Tech, it was obviously my Power 5 offer, but I was also looking at multiple different things, such as the coaching style, the offense, where I felt like I fit best into. When I went up to Texas Tech to meet Coach Cliff Kingsbury and the offensive coordinator, position coach for the first time, it was honestly felt like home. Committed there going into my senior year, and then that senior year during one of our high school bye weeks, I got a chance to go to one of the games, and the atmosphere of the game day was crazy. I mean, those people in West Texas, there's not much else out there besides Texas Tech. So you have the entire region that's there supporting the Red Raiders on game day, which sounds like it's very similar. The sounds like it's similar culture as it is to Green Bay. So I've heard Lambeau. I mean, I'm Jones AT&T Stadium, which is Texas home field, has nothing on the nature of Lambeau. So I can't wait to have goosebumps go down my neck during the Go Pack Go chants and things like that. And I'm just super excited to play in front of another passionate fan base.
Yeah, so you mentioned obviously you played at Texas Tech. In football in Texas is, especially in the South, is bigger than anywhere else in the country. Sam and I are both from the Midwest, and so football is not as big up here. What is the atmosphere like playing at Texas Tech in the South with college? Because obviously Lambeau Field has a great atmosphere. Do you think that sort of atmosphere maybe prepared you for what you're going to see up north in the frozen tundra?
Absolutely not. I mean, yes, of course, Texas Tech is. Texas is known for football, and we have passionate fans. But I've never been to Wisconsin, but I've heard games played at Lambeau through Fox Sports and all the news media outlets, and they try to mute the crowd so the commentators can go off, but they can't do it successfully. So there's nothing like Lambeau Field. I truly believe that, even without going to a game there, playing a game there. I don't think anything could prepare you that except for stepping on the field during game day.
So who is the toughest, I guess, Big 12 D-line that you went up against? So you got guys like Ross Blacklock from TCU or Neville Gallimore from Oklahoma. Who's the toughest guy D-line that you ended up going up against all through your years as a Red Raider?
I would say, I think schematics-wise, Coach Patterson's one of the best defensive coaches in college football, especially in the Big 12. And going against Ross, I actually went to high school, to the rival high school of Ross Blacklock. We played him through high school as well. So, he's always a threat, always has been. And I would say in the conference, that's definitely a challenge. But when you get to the athletes that teams like Oklahoma possess, I'd say the best defensive player I ever went against was, I might butcher the name, but Ogbo Okonkwo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he's now a defensive end, outside linebacker type body for the Los Angeles Chargers. He was a good. I mean, my senior year, I think that was my first conference game. I'm sorry, my sophomore year. I think it was my first conference game, and his spin move really woke me up. We'll say that, and really humbled me. So I would say that was the best challenge I went against. Great player. He's had a great career so far. He's going to do big things for the Rams this year. Not the Chargers, the Rams. I'm sorry.
So you mentioned obviously the guys you've played against. There's gonna be a few interesting guys you're gonna see in Green Bay in the Smith Bros, as we call them. Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, You're going to have some good competition to go up against in Kenny Clark on that defensive line. What do you expect them to teach you in terms of the pass rush and the pace of the NFL?
Well, gosh, I mean, I've never taken a snap in the NFL, let alone I have training camp or OTA or anything like that. So whatever they do, I'm going to learn from. I mean, I don't know what to expect going in. I know they're extremely talented players, as is everyone at this level, and they're gonna throw things at me that I've never seen before. And I think my job as a rookie, especially one in my position, is to take everything they do and learn from it to make sure I can be better prepared for the next time they throw it at me. I know the speed, the size, the strength of the NFL is something that is just totally foreign to people that have played college football. And when you get there, you're throwing the fire, and it's your time to adjust. So hopefully whatever throw to me, I learn from it, and I try to get up to speed as fast as possible.
So you know well enough that we have one of the best pass blockers in the game, pass protectors in David Bakhtiari. What are you looking forward to? I guess like him being kind of like a role model for you, or once you get up there.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I've never spoken to him or anything like that. Hopefully, he's willing to teach me something if he's able to. He's one of the most fluid athletes, I think, of the National Football League. Just how he uses leverage and positioning and his footwork to kind of make sure he's always one step ahead of the defensive ends is really what makes him a great pass blocker. Honestly, the past 3 days I've done nothing but study his tape and try to learn as much as possible from it. But I don't think if I was to try and become another or to try to do what he does, I don't know if I'm that athletic or anything like that. So I want to learn his mindset. Really, I want to learn how he prepares, breaks down film, how he always seems to be one step ahead of the D lineman, what does he see in defensive ends, things like that. And hopefully I'm gonna reach out to him. I have no pride. I don't have any. Obviously I know I'm gonna get picked on, all that stuff. But I'm hoping he's willing to share some of that knowledge he's developed over the years with me.
And that was kind of my next question, kind of going off of that was, is there any like a specific current like Packer or like any NFL lineman that you kind of model your game against or kind of learn off of? And I guess you kind of answered that with kind of David Bakhtiari as well. But is there anyone else?
I would say I've been this offseason. I've been working with Jake Matthews with the Atlanta Falcons a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's from my hometown. I've had the pleasure of watching him throughout his career at A&M and watching him play with the Falcons to try to really learn from him. I think he's a great all-around tackle as well. He's not just plus his dad is just an absolute legend, Bruce Matthews, and one of the best to ever do it. I've learned a lot from him just because I've had the most access to watch him throughout my life, and I would say I tried to model my game after him. I would not even come close to say we played the game the same way or anything like that. I wouldn't trash his name like that. But I would say that if there was a style I tried to emulate up until now, it's been him. But hopefully, like I said, if there's someone who takes me under their wing and hopefully just lets me learn from them a lot, then it could change.
Now, Travis, I think I tried to look this up, and Sam and I talked about this before, but you have to be the only offensive lineman in the NFL that I'm aware of that is going from pass blocking for Patrick Mahomes to Aaron Rodgers. Kind of tell us about your experience with Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, you were his left tackle. What was that like, and what do you expect your experience to do for you when it comes to blocking for Aaron Rodgers?
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, I wasn't his left tackle. I was a true freshman when his last tech stack. I played tight end that year for him. He threw me a touchdown pass when we played Oklahoma State. That was the highlight of my college career by a long shot. He was a great guy. What I learned from him is I think he really matured his senior year and learned how to prepare and be a pro at everything he did, which obviously, I mean, he's taken to the next level and just totally just compounded off that what he's learned then. I remember watching him fill up composition notebooks just based off of one opponent during bye weeks and to try to really understand the offense as a whole, not just what his reads were going to be or his progressions. He was one of the toughest players I ever played with. His senior year, he was battled with a ton of injuries and never missed one practice. Usually your college quarterbacks are the pretty boys and stuff, but he had a blue collar attitude. He had that work ethic that is just, you're seeing the product of a lot of years and many hours in the film room pay off right now, like he did in the Super Bowl. I learned a lot from him. I think he really, just learning from him as a freshman, he really helped me try to change my mindset of college football and how to approach football my last 3 years. And I honestly, I don't think there's anyone else like Aaron Rodgers. I don't think blocking or being around Pat Mahomes prepared me for anyone like that. Aaron Rodgers is one of a kind. I'm honored to be his teammate now, and I'm looking for hopefully help him do great things again, like he has always done this upcoming season.
Yeah, and that's really cool. So I was going to ask, what's your favorite memory being a Red Raider over at Texas Tech?
I would say growing up in football, growing up in Texas, watching football, you have to have either a complete love or a complete hatred for the Texas Longhorns. And I was on the side of having complete hatred. So we beat them my sophomore year to go to a bowl game, beat them at home when they were loaded with draft picks, loaded with NFL talent. And I think the Vegas odds had us at like a 21% chance of victory or something like that. We ended up beating them, and then we ran that we finished the game in victory and shut the entire crowd of 100,000+ up. And it was honestly, because I've had my entire life, was just shutting up those. That's the worst color in all of sports, is that burnt orange. So glad that was probably my favorite memory at Texas Tech, next to the Patrick Mahomes trick play touchdown I got. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. So I think it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the beginning of your sophomore year or your second year, might have been at Texas Tech. You said that the slower you can make the game, the easier it becomes. Are you still going to carry that philosophy with you to the NFL? I mean, trying to slow that game down, because you're going to have guys probably like the Bosa brothers, maybe Aaron Donald. Obviously, the Minnesota Vikings have a great pass rush. Khalil Mack coming at you. How are you going to try to slow that game down? Because you have some really good defenders in the NFC North.
Right. I think no matter how much I slow the game down through preparation and study, it's still going to be faster than anything I've ever seen. I'm not coming in with any type of naive mindset thinking that I'll be immediately prepared. It's going to be an adjustment, but it's something I'm going to try my best to make as fast as possible. Obviously with these pass rushers, a week ago I was watching film like, wow, this guy's so good. Well, now it's my time to block him, and that's my job now. So I'm going to learn, like I said earlier, from the veterans on what do they see, how do they slow the game down, because especially with Chicago being in the conference, you're going to see one of the best pass rushers in all of football at least twice a year. So what do you see? How do you slow the game down? Hopefully, David helps me through that, and sees from. I can tell you my old approach was watch tendencies, which I know in the NFL are harder to pick up. Watch where they come from, when their angles are, when you have leverage, when they're bounced out, what do they usually do? What is their assignment when they're wider, when they're tighter? Trying to learn, just try to be a defensive coordinator through my preparation. So when I'm out there, I can just play football and I can be in my position and then be physical at the point of attack instead of thinking and trying to overanalyze everything. Like I said, it's going to be an adjustment, but I'm excited to make it happen. And I think that my coaches in the past have prepared me for this type of adjustment, and hopefully, matured my mindset. So when it is time to go, I'm ready to go.
And what does it mean for you now that you're a Packer, what does it mean for you to be basically a part of one of the most successful franchises in the NFL?
Amazing. I've always said that I love winning, and there's no organization that's ever done it better than the Green Bay Packers. Like I said earlier, 13-time world champions. That speaks for itself. What I'm super excited about is, I love winning. And in college, I only made one bowl game, and my senior season we finished with 4 wins. Winning is something that I love so much, but has become almost foreign to me, and I'm really excited to get back to it. Especially some like an organization that deserves it as much as Green Bay, with the devoted fan base and the blue collar attitude, blue collar region of the world. I'm just super excited, and honestly could not be more honored and privileged to have this opportunity to make a roster, have this opportunity to suit up in the green and gold. Just honestly, it means the world to me.
So Adam Stenovich is the Green Bay Packers offensive line coach. Have you talked to him at all? And if you haven't, do you look forward to?
Yeah, so we've talked a bit. We've we've been discussing the ins and outs of what it means to be a Packer, what the expectations are every time we put the helmet on, or how we approach the Zoom calls. walking through the playbook. Obviously, it's an adjustment as is coming to any new team, and learning just the vocabulary that each coach has and is unique to that specific coach. We've talked through all that, and it's the first week. So we're all trying to figure out the Zoom meetings. We're all trying to figure out how things like that work. But this upcoming week, and the speed's going to pick up, and my interaction with him will become more and more frequent. And I'm honestly really excited to come in to work for him face to face.
So you did a lot of stuff, not only on the football field, but off the football field at Texas Tech. You were one of the 15 student athletes to attend the NCAA's Convention on Autonomy. You represented the Big 12 as well as Texas Tech. With all the different rule changes taking place on the football field with college athletics, obviously the NCAA has ruled that players can profit off their name, image, and likeness. What was your experience doing that with all the rule changes? And where do you see kind of those things changing in the future for college athletics?
Right. That's a great question. I was part of the committee that actually discussed name, image, and likeness when it first came up. It was mostly a situation that at the time we were dealing with basketball players who just careers were never guaranteed. They were 1 year, the one and done type scenario. All this stuff. I was actually my original stance, and I'm pretty sure now that I'm not part of the organization anymore, I'm allowed to talk about it, but I was against it. I think that keeping the amateurism of sports, of college sports especially, is imperative to the situation at hand. Because the second you transition from an athlete being a student athlete or a person at that position to being a student athlete to an employee, you run into a whole different things. And then you have to classify them as a tax exempt employee. Are you going to tax their name, image, and likeness checks? How does that go about it? Just all these different things that you never really consider at the front end of things. Everybody wants a student athlete to have great success or have more money in their pocket if it's willing to the organization. But there's so many different variables that people didn't consider. And I think that the final side of the bill actually got things mostly right, but still never know if you'll convert me. I hope it works out for the best because I'll never be rooting against any student athlete a day in my life, but I hope it all works out. Yeah, but we talked for 3 straight days at that committee, having this exact same conversation with people from all across the country, and it would be interesting to see how it works out.
So how did your mindset change abruptly, kind of from going from your last game in a Red Raider uniform to as soon as you played your final snap, you're like, wow, like this is real. Like I'm now going to train for the National Football League.
Right. Well, I mean, I think there's 2 ways to live your life, and that's with a timid attitude. And I think that timid attitude leads to, in those types of moments that you just mentioned, to have a lot of regret. You're never going to be fully invested, or you're always going to want to change something that you did. Or there's the way to live your life where it's just everything you got, no filter, 100% at all times. Be yourself at any given cost. And if people don't like that, it's going to bite you in the butt sometimes, but I believe that'll pay off more than it hurts you. And that's really the mindset that I was taught to live with. And it's the mindset that made me, when I walked off that field, not regret a single thing. Yeah, I wanted more wins. Yeah, I wanted more everything. But at the same time, I couldn't look back because I had to look forward. And I think that really paved the way for me to have a great draft process, put out some good virtual pro days, and really put me in the position that I am in now. And that's the opportunity to chase a dream I've always had.
So you mentioned, you found out you got a scholarship from Texas A&M through their Twitter account. It's probably not the most traditional way to find out that you got a scholarship to a football team. What was your reaction when the Packers called you, however they contacted you, that you're going to be a Green Bay Packer? Because obviously you could have gone anywhere, signed with any team. But I guess what's the one thing you look forward to the most about going to Green Bay? Because there's a huge difference between Houston, obviously, and Green Bay. Green Bay is a small town of only 60,000 people. There's really no skyscrapers. It's just Lambeau Field, a bunch of houses around it. So what was your reaction to not really the football organization, but Green Bay, Wisconsin? Because a lot of players, I don't want to say they get bored in Green Bay, but there's just not a ton to do. So they find interesting ways to entertain themselves. So what are your thoughts on the Green Bay area, if you have any?
Right. Well, I mean, I would say anyone in my position saying they absolutely love it. But I've actually done a lot of research and looking into it. And I went to college in Lubbock, Texas, which is from the next metropolitan area is at least a 6-hour drive. And I think it's population-wise, it's bigger than Green Bay, but it feels as if you're in some Friday Night Lights type West Texas town. Which obviously isn't the case if the census was talking, but the way you feel in that city is exactly how I imagine it feeling in Green Bay, that people will get bored and they find different ways to entertain themselves. And I say what a teacher told me in 7th grade or 2nd grade is that only boring people get bored. And I don't never ever in my life been bored winning. So if we win football games, I'm pretty sure the stage is gonna be a lot better. And I'm excited to make that winning a reality. I couldn't care less if I was in Timbuktu. I wanted to play professional football, and I'm ready to do it in Green Bay.
So, and a lot of people say, like, I've read articles from our previous writers. They like from teams, they say like Green Bay, like yeah, you might be like boring, but like it keeps players focused. So like that's kind of like a positive mindset that's always good to see in Packer players. And what I want to end on is if you could be quarantined with any current Packer player, who would it be? So you got A, Devontae Adams, B, Jamal Williams, C, David Bakhtiari, or D, Jair Alexander.
Gosh, that's a tough one. I mean, well, I would say my position speaking, obviously, it would be Bach and trying to, we just do pass sets for 40 straight days. And, we do all that stuff. I mean, I'd love to do that. I'll probably choose Bach. I mean, hopefully he doesn't see this and make fun of me for it. But yeah, if we just do run fits and pass sets for 40 straight days, I come out a much better football player.
That's super cool. Do you have any plans to grow out your hair like David Bakhtiari? I see
Well,
that.
my mom would say yes. But actually, I just kind of let it go, and I don't know where it's going. I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. I watched Game of Thrones about this time last year, and I was like, screw it, I'm not going to cut it and see if I can Jon Snow it. But I realized quickly I have no texture to my hair. I have English, Irish, straight hair, and it's not looking too good. So we'll see what happens, what the future is with my hair. I don't think I can ever match David's hair. It's next level. But I try to take pretty good care of it, and we'll see what the future holds for. I might need it for the snow games to keep me warm.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, Travis. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Of course. And best of luck in Green Bay in the frozen tundra. I know it's not the warmest climate in the world, especially for somebody from Texas. But we wish you the best of luck, and we'll be rooting for you.
Yeah, best of luck. Welcome to Green Bay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I couldn't be happier. Y'all take care now.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
Thanks, Travis.
Bye.